Hi everyone, I'm Eric Bowe, and today I would like to talk to you about a very exciting topic in the industrial automation world, collaborative robotics. So to begin, let's first talk about today's most common industrial robots. Most robots used in an industrial setting automate high-volume, repetitive processes, such as automotive chassis assembly or welding. These robots unfortunately replace large numbers of both skilled and unskilled laborers in order to bring down costs and increase efficiency. And now, companies are looking to automate more than just high-volume tasks, searching for ways to bring down the cost of tasks that can change daily. Could this mean the end for blue-collar workers? Workers that have always been not only valued, but celebrated in cultures here in the United States and abroad. The solution is collaborative robotics. The Robotic Industries Association defines a collaborative robot as a robot designed for direct interaction with a human within a defined collaborative workspace. A prime example of a collaborative robot that is changing the future for the better is Baxter by Rethink Robotics, a startup company from Boston, Massachusetts. Featured here is the man who developed Baxter, Dr. Rodney Brooks. In an appearance on TED Talks, Dr. Brooks described traditional factory robots as dangerous to be in close contact with and have displaced the common worker from technology. Dr. Brooks has intended for Baxter to not only work alongside humans, but safely with them. Baxter is loaded with technology that keeps physical safety in mind. His smooth, compliant joints do not contain any pinch points and will stop moving if they encounter incidental contact. Baxter also contains a 360-degree sonar and front camera that detect human presence. When a human is detected, his movements slow down. Emotional safety was also kept in mind when Baxter was designed. The Association for Advanced Automation reports Baxter's eyes are always visible on the monitor, creating an emotional link. In a report by the New York Times, the sensation that Baxter conveys is not creepy, but benign. The Association for Advanced Automation also notes that people are less stressed when a robot's movements mimic those of a human arm. So what do all of these safety features equate to? Well, simply put, a robot that can become a trusted work companion and won't take a worker's job. Because Baxter needs human collaboration to function. Instead of using highly sophisticated programming that requires a large amount of downtime and high integrating costs, Baxter can be trained through moving his arms by the same workers that are next to him every day. This eliminates the need for companies to call in expensive programmers to come in every time Baxter's duties change. So where does Baxter contribute on the shop floor? Baxter can be trained to do an assortment of mundane tasks, such as machine tool tending and packaging. This can make Baxter a game changer to job happiness, something that is highly valued in today's society. Have you ever been at work carrying out a mindless, repetitive task, anticipating the time to clock out, rather than enjoying what you are doing? This is due to your mind not being engaged. Having your mind engaged while working can create a sense of purpose, allowing you to enjoy your job. As a former machinist, I can attest to this. Part of being a machinist requires you to carry out machine tending. Machine tending is a very repetitive, mindless task that can be fatiguing due to standing in the same spot for long periods of time. Long hours of machine tending led to unhappiness at work and unfortunately affected my happiness outside of work as well. With a Baxter carrying out machine tending, machinists could then carry out more engaging tasks. such as programming, collaborating with engineers, or even making special hands for Baxter's tasks. To conclude this presentation, I would like to show you a customer testimonial about Baxter.
Repline is a metal fabrication shop. We have laser beds, press brakes, machine shop, and we're a one-stop shop. So once we do the components, we also weld them and paint them and then assemble them. Repline is a very fast-paced work environment, so we always want to be at the forefront of the new technology that's coming out. The first time we saw Baxter, we weren't quite sure where we wanted to throw him in our company, but we knew that we had a spot for him somewhere. We initially thought maybe just, picking up parts and putting them in boxes and then shipping them out, but we soon realized that Baxter had a lot more capability than we initially thought. One of our Baxters is set up on a Haas VF3 mill machine. So what an operator has to do to start off is he just stacks some parts in our auto load machine. It does 15 parts at a time. And then from there, all he has to do is hit the start button on the VF3 and it'll go from there, completely automated. No other buttons are pushed for the whole 30-minute cycle. I was worried that the operators would see it as, replacing their jobs or making them move to another department. But they actually liked the idea really well because they could see its face move and then interact with it really closely. One of the biggest differences between Baxter and other automated machines is that Baxter can work really closely with a lot of operators. So you don't need any of the safety shields, any safety precautions, because Baxter can bump into the operator, recognize that it's bumping into something, and then immediately shut down. And that was really crucial in our workplace here at Repline. So since we've got Baxter up and running on our production line, we've seen great improvements in our automation metrics. The first Baxter has actually paid for itself already and has begun paying for the second one as well. And the improvement with that is that we actually free up an operator who used to just be machine tending, and that operator is free to do other more complex jobs now.
I had a lot of fun making this video and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.